What's up, guys? Welcome to another famous episode of Cooking with Ryan, aka Big Poppy. We are making, what's up, Cynthia? Thanks for joining me. We are making lasagna today. Do a little Caesar salad to go with that, and we're going to do some garlic bread to go with that also. I already have everything all made up here, ready to go in the pan. I'm going to show you how I do that. Let me first of all tell you what steps I went through to get everything ready. I got some ground turkey, and I cooked that in a pan on the stove with some onion. I added some salt to that, just like that. Some poppy seasoning, my favorite. And I let that cook up until it was browned. In the meantime, I had some sauce, which is right here. It's all done there. Cooking up on the stove. Cooking up probably about a number 3, I think is how I had it set up. And that way it doesn't get too hot. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to burn the sauce because it has a little bit of taste if you do that. So I cook it about long enough so it starts to bubble. And then I turn it down to low and let it kind of simmer for about an hour. Anyways, for the sauce, don't get too fancy with the sauce. You can really use any sauce that you like. I use generic and I doctor it up. And by that is grab a couple of, actually I use 3 cans to make my lasagna. It works out perfect. Gives me the right amount. And so when I say cans or jars, just the regular size ones, not the great big ones. They have big ones and whatnot. Probably 2 of the big ones, I'm guessing, might do it for lasagna. I don't know, 3 works good for me. Anyways, Walmart had a sale on spaghetti sauce. The generic ones, what is it called? Great value ones, for 88 cents. So I got 3 of those for under $3. So pretty good deal. So I just doctor it up. What I doctor it up is I add some minced garlic to it. This stuff here. I add a little bit of salt to it. More sea salt there. Some Italian seasoning, just like that. And I stir it up. And then I add the meat cooks, on the stove next to it. And the onion along with it. I cook the onion along with the meat. And when that's browned, I add that to the sauce. And like I said, let it simmer for about an hour. And then just let it cool off, because really lasagna, the cool thing about making it up early is you can get all made up early. We got some people come over tonight. So get it made up early. So when they come over, all you have to do is pop in the oven and it's all done. So I'm going to put this together for you guys to show you how I do it. Also, as far as noodles go, I just used whatever's on sale. This time this is a great value. I think this was like $1 or something like that. It wasn't very expensive. Salad, I'm not going to make up now. I'm going to keep that because it's fresh right now. You know how I do things. I'm always fresh out of the package and always from scratch. That's right. So we're going to save the salad for later. Great little salad kits. These are a Caesar salad kit. About like that. And a couple of them will feed, 4 or 5 people. If they're hungry, like we eat a lot, so you need 2 of them. It has everything that you need to make a salad. It has a dressing, lettuce, all that kind of stuff in there. You just put together and mix it up when it's all done, and your salad's ready. Easy peasy. So I got my sauce here. I'm going to go ahead and put sauce in the bottom of the pan here to start out with. Kind of keeps things from sticking to the bottom a little bit. Also, when I'm cooking my noodles, little tip that I learned from a relative is I add, of course, you have water when you're cooking it. What's up, Billy? What's up, brother? So water, obviously, when you're cooking it. I add some olive oil to that, some salt, and also I add some garlic powder. Just get a garlic powder and add it to it. Garlic salt sometimes might make it too salty, so I recommend garlic powder. What it does is it kind of cooks the garlic into the noodles a little bit. A little extra garlic. I love garlic, so. All right, put a little sauce on the bottom here, and next level is going to be noodles on top of that. So I want to get enough sauce on the bottom so it kind of covers the whole bottom there, just like so. A little bit more here, make sure it's all covered good. All right, and then just take your noodles, and I found out that I can put, let's see how many rows I can do here. There's 1, 2. So I can do 4 noodles across that way when I'm setting it up here. Nailani's watching. What's up, girl? How are you? So, and then for the sides, they're too long, you notice. So just take and kind of just rip off a end there a little bit. Toss that piece in the sink there like so. You didn't see that, but it went in. So take another noodle for the other side there. And usually when I make the noodles, I usually make the whole package, because what it does is that's about what you need. And really, what if you have two noodles left you don't use, what are you gonna use those for later? Nothing. So I throw them away anyways. So level one, I'm gonna add sauce to that top. I'm gonna add some cheese to it. I use Monterey Jack cheese, and usually a block about like that. I usually get 20 pieces. So I can get 3 or 4 levels on here of all the sauce and cheese and stuff together. So let's see, it's Friday. Yes, it's Friday. Good things are happening today. Wait until I talk to you there, Nailani. No, don't waste noodles. Absolutely. So, and for putting the sauce on here, I take a scoop out like this, and really 1 scoop across the whole noodle takes care of it. That's why I know I have enough for my whole thing. Might add a little bit extra just to make sure they're all covered. But really just run that sauce right down the noodle there, so it covers up the noodle pretty completely. And really, don't worry about cooking the sauce, undercooking it over. You don't want to overcook it, for one thing, because it's going to cook in the oven anyway. So if it's not all the way done, not a big deal. So just I do it so that all the ingredients cook together and give it a nice blend, and that way I can taste it and make sure it tastes okay, and it does. So you guys like the hat and glasses? Thought we'd try something new today. Have a little fun. Since it's Friday, yeah, it's Friday. So get this all covered up here with sauce, and we'll add some cheese to it here. So we get our levels going. You want to kind of layer it here. So we'll get our layer on. Okay, a little bit more sauce here in the corner on that one there. Ooh, yeah. So take your cheese and just kind of gonna put probably, spread it out a little bit, put like 3 that way, another 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do 3 on the bottom there. So you really have 4 different spots there for 3 to cross. So works out so a whole thing of cheese takes up a lasagna. So pretty cool stuff. So okay, so we got that there. So we're gonna add noodles again to it for the next layer. And as far as the noodles go, what I do is when the noodles are done, just take the pan and dump it out in a strainer like this in the sink. Run some cold water over it, otherwise it's going to burn your fingers. So a couple more noodles here for this layer here, going across. So how's everyone today? Oh, by the way, remember to drop your city you're watching from. I like to see how far it reaches with Facebook. Facebook has been a little silly lately. I got put in jail for hearting people up too much for a few days, which kind of sucked, because I like when people do something I like to be able to let them know, which I usually comment anyway. So I like to do both for them. I like to make sure, because the nice thing about using the hearts I found out is if you use the heart, or you use the wow button, or use the laugh button, stuff like that, the Rhythma or whatever the rhythmic thing in Facebook puts it out to a farther reach. So I like to be able to, if I can, get somebody's reach a little bit farther by using the wow button or the heart button or something like that. So do me a favor, you guys, drop in the comments, also drop emojis. Really important as far as getting the videos and stuff like that out there. So if one of your friends is doing a video or something like that, comment, but also drop some emojis in there, hearts, stuff like that. Facebook sees something like that, they get excited and say, we're going to share this out to more people. So you're always in control of what's getting shared and how far it's going as far as your group of people and stuff like that. So good thing to do. Okay, so we got noodles on there again. We're doing another row of sauce on top here. That one there. So how is everyone on this Friday? I'm glad it's the weekend. It's been a great week for me. My wife has my little guy right now. They're over getting his hair cut. His hair's been getting pretty long. So, I'll tell you a funny story. The funny thing is, you know how it is when you're watching a movie, or even listen to the radio and stuff like that. You don't really realize the language being used on there because you're just kind of used to it, you know, some of the bad language, until your little one says one of the bad words. Right. So we're watching Fast and Furious, one of the Fast and Furious movies yesterday, and one of the actors gets on there and says, one of the actors says, ah, right? So what my little guy do? He says, yeah, he says the same thing. He says, ah, shit, right? So I'm like, whoa, hang on. I said, no. I said, we don't say that. You know, I said, just because somebody else says something like that doesn't mean we need to say it too. So now I know he's trying to pick up more stuff. I know sometimes I got a potty mouth, so I got to be careful about what I say. And so anyways, that's a funny little story there. So Kimberly, how are you? Glad you jumped on here with me. We're making some lasagna here for dinner. Getting it all ready. Gonna toss it in the fridge when I'm done. So later on I can take it out and just take it down when I get some friends that are coming over, and it'll be done. So all right, so we got another layer of noodles, another layer of sauce. We're gonna do another layer of cheese on here. And I always put my biggest layer on the bottom usually because sometimes I don't always, you know, plan out very good. So that's okay though. So you really can't screw it up. If you want to, you can grade the cheese, not a big deal. So we're gonna do just 3 levels this time so I can make sure I have enough for the top one on there. So we just did 3 rows of 3. And we're gonna add more noodles to the top. This will be our last one we do. And it's starting to stick a little bit, which is not a big deal. Just pull them apart. And do our 4 cross here. So what do you guys have planned for Friday night? I know I'm making dinner here because we have a couple that we know that are coming over tonight to hang out. And so I figured I went to the store today and I got stuff for making lasagna. And I have Caesar salad sitting there ready to go. The kit, which is, you know, these are, showed us a minute ago. Hang on, somebody's here. My cousin Harmony just got off school, gonna hang out for a little bit. So anyways, like I was saying, noodles, I'm gonna have exactly enough actually with this box. Worked out pretty good. So on the edge, just kind of cut it off there so you can place it back on there. And then, oops, get that one too. Like I said, you know, you really can't, you know, just kind of follow the steps. And if you want, you know, recipe, you see something I do, you say, Ryan, what did you do there? You know, what did you put it on the oven for? How long did you put it in there for? Just ask me. Send me a message, you know, or ask me in the comments here. It's good to comment on here because later on I'll post a picture when I'm all done so you can take a look and see. And if someone wants a recipe, I can post it on here and it'll automatically pop up in your feed for you so you can see it. So, all right, last one here. We're going to kind of use the rest of the sauce. So we're going to kind of go down the row like we did before. But we'll use up the rest to kind of cover up the noodles really good. Like so. So a couple people are watching here. Does anybody have any questions about what I'm doing or how I do anything like that? I try to make things, you know, I try to do things that are simple, they're easy, you know, and that works out pretty good as far as sharing it with, you know, on my little cooking show I do here because, you know, hopefully you guys can do it too if you want. The last time I did lasagna, a friend of mine said, oh, I made lasagna tonight, and I kind of followed what you did. So, pretty cool. So, I'm always looking for new recipes though too. So you guys have some new recipes you want to share with me, that'd be great. Brianna is home. Hi, how are you? Good. Good. So I'll get this finished up here for you guys so you can see. And I'm going to add the last of the cheese here, the top here. Let's see, we got put one there, one there, one there. Like I said, really, however you want to do the cheese, some people like to grate it and do it that way. You know, other people like to slice it like this and do it this way. So, got perfect. 3 rows of 3 on top. So when I'm done with that, what I do is I take aluminum foil, put it over the top of it, and I can toss it in the fridge until I'm ready to cook it. And when I cook it, I leave the aluminum foil on there. And I turn the oven on to 375, and I cook it for about 40 minutes. And what you're looking for when you're cooking it is you're looking for bubbles all the way through, kind of. So you know it's done. Really, it's already been kind of already cooked anyway, so you really can't undercook it really. But you want to make sure it's bubbling good. That gives it a good taste to it. Do you make your sauce? Yes, I do. I make my, Cynthia, I make my sauce fresh from the jar, right? So one of my fresh from the jar is I take the jar, I get it from the store, right? I always go pick out my own sauce at the store. Yeah, I'm kind of a smart ass. But anyways, so I would make it fresh from the store. So I go to the store, go down the pasta aisle, pick out the sauce I want, open that can up. And usually for lasagna, it's three cans or 3 jars. Just the regular size ones, no great big ones unless you want to do a big one. I think a great big one might work for lasagna, something like that. And I doctor it up. What I do to doctor it up is I add some sea salt to it. I add some Italian seasoning, like so. You guys can see that there, to it. And I add some minced garlic to it. So really what I'm doing is I'm doctoring up a sauce that's already been kind of put together. Really has a lot of stuff in it anyways, a little bit. I'm just adding a little bit extra to it. So it makes it simple because I find the sauce that's on sale. And some people have sauces they like, and it all kind of tastes the same. I know some people like Prego, some people like other stuff. I get the one that's cheapest. And this time I found sauce on sale at Walmart, the Great Value one, for 88 cents a jar. So I got 3 jars, and that goes in here. Like I said, I doctor it up. I added some ground turkey I cooked up beforehand with the onion I cooked up beforehand to it. And when I made that ground turkey and onion, I used Pappy seasoning, my favorite seasoning, a little bit of salt on that, and I cooked it up until it was brown. Add that to the sauce. The sauce was bubbling about then, so it's about time to turn it down. I turn it down low and let it cook slow with the lid on for about an hour. And just kind of keep my eye on it because you don't want it to bubble for too long because it can burn the sauce. So you want to cook it nice and slow so it just warms up nice and slow. So that's how I do the sauce. And everything I do, I don't usually do a lot of stuff from, I joke around. I do it from, fresh out of the can. I make it from scratch. Yeah. So, but that's how I do it. I try to do it easy and do it simple. That's how I like to do it. And I hope you guys enjoy that too, because I have a few people say they like the show because it's easy, something they can do. My buddy Franklin's on here. What's up, brother? Saw you at the gym today working hard. Great job. He was asking me today if I was going to do a cooking show, and I said, well, I'm going to try to, and I don't always have a set time to do it. So I kind of fit it in when I can fit it in. I think I've been pretty busy lately, so I try to fit it in when I can fit it in. So anyways, lasagna's done being set up, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add, put some aluminum foil on the top, and then it's ready to either go in the oven, or you stick it in the fridge, to cook later. I'm sticking it in the fridge to cook later. Now, I'm also going to make some garlic bread with that. And Walmart's really good to get a loaf of bread, I'll show you here. The reason why is because it's a really good deal, and it's only $1. So, I'll show you here. So, loaf of French bread, right? It was $1. Good deal. And what I do when I make this here is I take aluminum foil, a big piece set out. I take and I slice it right down the middle, right all the way in half. I butter both sides, and I put some garlic powder on it, like this. I kind of like the minced garlic on there, but not everyone in the family likes that much garlic on there. So I use the powdered garlic on there. And then I wrap it up so it's all wrap it up so it's all covered up. And when I cook lasagna, I put it in there with lasagna. You can put it on the same level you want to, or a different level. Usually in the oven you have a couple racks. So put on the racks not getting used. And when it's done, you just take it out and you have 2 big pieces. Just kind of slice it up however you want the pieces. So it turns out really good, and really you got a whole loaf of bread for $1. It's good. It's pretty much fresh. Made that day or made yesterday. I know a lot of times I put the bread on sale for 50 cents, or a lot of times this bread is $2. Right now it's all $1, which is pretty cool. So So that's what I do for the French bread. And like I was saying, when I'm cooking the lasagna, oven goes to 375, and I put leave the cover on there when I cook it. I got the garlic bread all set up, put that in there with it when I cook it. Garlic bread takes about, you can do it 30, 35 minutes, something like that, and just take it out about then. But make sure you cook the lasagna for I do about 40 minutes, 40, 45 minutes for lasagna, and it's pretty well cooked if you do that. So anyways, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day and a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday to you. Go out and do something fun. See you guys. Bye.